I'm Ratna Bhushan, friend, motivator, and guide to IAS aspirant, international motivational speaker, leadership trainer, CEO, coach, political strategist, and policy advisor. It was our love of foreign clothes that ousted the wheel from its position of dignity. It was our love of foreign clothes that ousted the wheel from its position of dignity. This is the quote of Mahatma Gandhi, taken from the book The Words of Gandhi, written by Richard Attenborough. So, the most important news of today's are source the Hindu newspaper, moving resolutely toward the post-pandemic future. Even as many countries are stumbling, India has seized control of its destiny, is recovering and making bold plans. This article was written by Jayant Sinha. A moment comes but rarely in the history when a nation seizes control of its destiny, when a new Atmanirbhar era begins, and when the people of the nations move forward with the confidence. It is a feeling that this moment has come down during global novel coronavirus pandemic. Even as the world is reeling from the impact of the pandemic, India is recovering with fresh energy and making bold plans for the future. The pandemic began spreading around the world just a few months ago, yet it has plunged the global economy its deepest economic contraction since the Great Depressions of 1930. Trillions of dollars of economic output have been wiped out. Most countries will take years to return to pre-coronavirus levels, and billions of people are controlling a shrunken future. Calibrated measures, calibrated measures, calibrated measures, calibrated measures. India has avoided his fate. The government of Prime Minister Narendra Modi has undertaken a series of decisive, calibrated actions, which include implementing a rapid lockdown to save lives, providing abundant relief to protect livelihoods, and simultaneously positioning the economy for the strong revival through the Atmanirbhar policy package. On March 24, 2020, Mr. Modi announced a historic nationwide lockdown that was eventually lifted on June 1st. The national lockdown dramatically dampened the disease exponential growth rate and gave the country time to prepare. Without a lockdown, the cases of the coronavirus would today be several times higher than now. More importantly, coronavirus fatalities would have been even higher since the case of fatality rate has declined dramatically in the past few months. Lockdown was essential. A terrible human tragedy was swiftly and decisively averted during the lockdown. The nations got ready to face the pandemic. Every citizen learned the value of the mask wearing, social distancing, and hand washing. Hospitals, bed, intensive care units, ventilators, oxygen cylinders, personal protective equipment kits, and the N95 masks were procured in the vast quantities and supplied to every district. COVID-19 care and quarantine centers were established in every block. Testing capacity increased from the thousands per day to almost a million per day. Testing labs are now available 80 to 90% of all districts. Extraordinary medical advances have also happened in the past few months. Several drugs have proven to be efficacious. Treatment protocols are now widely available, and many vaccine candidates are now in the final stages of testing. The national lockdown has thus saved lakhs of lives. Along with the livelihoods have also been saved through bold action. Soon after the lockdown was announced, the Prime Minister announced the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, a massive relief package for the needy. Through this program, around 80 crore fellow citizens are being provided rations through the public distribution system. This has saved them money and put cash in their pockets. Over 20 crore in Jan Dhan women account holders have received 30,650 crore directly into their bank account. Around 2.3 crore construction workers have got 4,313 crore, while 2.8 crore benefits in the National Social Assistance Program have received 2,815 crore. The rural economy, which supports 60 to 70% of India's population and accounts for 46% of GDP, is surging. The excellent Rabi harvest has resulted in over 75,000 crore in form of payments by the government. Almost 10 crore farmers have received 40,000 crore as income support through the PM Kisan Samman Nidhi. Over 4 crore thousands are benefiting from the expanded Mahatma Gandhi Employment Guarantee Act scheme. Thus, The rural economy has received over 2 lakh crore of the cash directly into the beneficiary accounts just from the central government. State governments have run their own relief programs as well. These massive cash payments have driven rural confidence with the customers' goods, motorcycle and tractor purchase at pre-pandemic levels. RBI and policy action, micro, small and medium enterprise (MSMEs) and large corporates have also been provided substantial relief through coordinated actions between the Reserve Bank of India (RBI) and the government. Compliance fillings and the tax payments were extended by several months. Borrowers received a loan moratorium of 6 months. Moreover, the RBI has cut rates of 115 BPS and they pumped in more than 9 lakh crore in liquidity into the financial system. 3 lakh crore have been made available as guaranteed collaborated free loans of the MSMEs borrowers, with close to half of that being sanctioned already. The National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, Small Industry Development, Bank of India, National Housing Bank, non-banking financial companies have all been provided refinancing facility. The RBI has undertaken vast long-term repo operations to bring down the yield curve. As a result of these all policy actions, credit marketers have stabilized, credit is available and spreads have come down to normal levels. With the loan moratorium coming to an end 31st August, the RBI has now announced a one-time restructuring scheme to provide relief to stressed sectors. Borrowers will be able to restructure their loan to match their cash flows, thereby protecting their business and jobs. The net result of these relief actions has been to prevent widespread business failures and job losses, which would have resulted in permanent damage to their Indian economy. Repeal and reform. Sri Lanka should not undo undemocratic gains and roll back devolution in the constitution. A two-thirds majority in legislature is indeed a mandate for constitutional change, but winner ought to decide whether the proposed change will bring about reform or impairment, whether it would strengthen the democratic institutions of parliament. Sri Lankan President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has predictably declared his intention to repeal the landmark 19th Amendment to the Constitution and thereafter work toward a new constitution. The party who belongs to the SLPP has just generated a historic two-thirds majority along with the allies in the parliamentary polls and precedented in election based on the proportional representation. Few would doubt that the party led by President's elder brother, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, has the requisite mandate for the overall the constitutional and electorate system. The abolition of 19th Amendment was indeed the party's major rollback. However, does it necessarily mean that the gains of the 19th Amendment should be thrown out lock, stock or barrel? Lock, stock or barrel? Lock, stock and barrel. The legislation that introduced it was based on the popular mandate for change in 2015 presidential election and received more than the required two-thirds support in the previous parliament. It not only curbed the executive president's vast power by restoring a two-term limit and making it difficult for the legislature to be dissolved at the president's whim, but also sought to protect the independence of oversight institution. Kerala readies to host its first Dragonfly Festival. The WWF India Kerala unit has joined hands with the Society for Odonate Studies and Thambipuram for the first ever state Dragonfly Festival in Kerala. Thambi Mahotsavam 2020. Panatulu is the official mascot for the festival. Several programs are set to roll out in the coming months to reach out to various sections of the society. A Dragonfly Backyard Watch has been announced to enhance the participation of the people and improve their observation skill. It will be a citizen science project in view of COVID-19 restriction. A social media campaign is also on the spread of the message around. A field guide on the common dragonflies of Kerala and a children's dragonfly coloring and activities book are also under development. A digital Odonate knowledge hub will also be set up under SOS Thambipuram Facebook page, which will host all available material in the form of scientific papers, posters, videos, stickers on dragonflies. Various competition will also be organized. This season of darkness will end, Biden. This season of darkness will end, Biden. In a speech that portrayed America as having arrived a moment of choice between the two very different future Democratic presidential nominee, Joe Biden said the country would overcome this season of darkness as he accepted the nomination. The current president has locked America in the darkness of much too young, too much anger, too much fear, too much division, Mr. Biden said on the fourth and final day of the virtual Democratic National Convention themed America's Promise. America's Promise compelled by the pandemic to implement distancing measures. The former Obama-era vice president spoke for a mostly empty room, addressing an audience across the country watching on their computer and television screens. If you entrust me with the presidency, I will draw on the best of us, not the worst. I will be an ally of the light, not of the darkness. For make no mistake, united we can and we will overcome this season of darkness in America. We will choose hope over fear, facts over fiction, fairness over privilege, Mr. Biden said. Thank you so much. God bless Bharat.